Hello, this is the Lord's Legion yet again, and welcome back to The Lord Speaks. And in this video, I've got a pretty fascinating fan theory in relation to the MCU. And before we get started, I want to give a quick shout out to the MCU fan page for this incredible theory. If you love the MCU, then I suggest you give them a like on Facebook because this is one top-notch fan page. And a link to their page should be down in the description down below. Now in the comics, Mistress Death had a huge part in relation to the Infinity War storyline. However, there's no sign of Mistress Death anywhere or even mentioned at all. But for Infinity War, the film, instead they're going to use Hela as a replacement for Mistress Death. And allow me to break this theory down piece by piece. Now we should all know who Thanos is at this point in time. He is essentially the Mad Titan who will eventually gain the Infinity Gauntlet and wipe out the universe in time for Avengers Infinity War. Now what many people might not know and is often ignored is the fact that Thanos' motivation is based purely for his love of Mistress Death. And of course Mistress Death would take advantage of Thanos' affection for her by having him do all her dirty work and try to destroy and kill as many people as possible. And despite how Thanos mostly comes out on top with his plans, Mistress Death would ultimately reject him, which is his greatest downfall. Now what I find interesting is the fact that Mistress Death herself has not been mentioned or even referred in the MCU thus far. And Mistress Death is essentially Thanos' true motivations behind all of his plans. And despite how the MCU would like to change certain aspects of each character, they will never get rid of their core elements. So this is the part where Hela comes into play. Now what I think everyone knows is a given is the fact that Hela is going to have a big role in Thor Ragnarok that will be released in just under a year away from Avengers Infinity War, who will be played by Cate Blanchett. And considering how she is a big name due to The Lord of the Rings, to me it makes perfect sense for them to keep this actress so that she can continue as Hela for future installments in the MCU, especially if the character has potential to be one of the biggest bads in the MCU. So the reasons why I suggest that Hela should replace Mistress Death for Infinity War is for two main reasons. First of all, having a physical embodiment of death would be a little too goofy even for the MCU standards. And second of all, Mistress Death has never been introduced or even referred to any capacity. Meaning, if she gets introduced into Infinity War out of nowhere, it'll be more of a head scratcher if anything else. While with Hela, it makes a little more sense for me if they use her instead of Mistress Death for Infinity War. For starters, the character is already about to get introduced into Thor Ragnarok, so at least she has another film up her sleeve before Infinity War. Not only that, she also shares a few similarities to Mistress Death in general. In the Thor series, Hela is known as the goddess of the dead, which is fitting considering the 9 realms is already established, as well as Hell being introduced into Thor Ragnarok. What Hela also shares with Mistress Death is the fact that not only are they undeniably beautiful in their own weird way, but also the fact that Hela is also a manipulative and deceptive character, who often utilises their cunning mind in order to gain what she wants, in a similar fashion to how Mistress Death did in Thanos Rising. To me, using Hela would make Thanos' motivations make more sense, and it kinda makes it all the more believable and ties in correctly with the MCU. Hell, I could even imagine an end credits scene featuring Hela with an Infinity Stone and handing it over to Thanos so that he can destroy the universe in exchange for her love and affection, which will perfectly lead up to Avengers Infinity War the following year. Which makes perfect sense for me because not only has the Thor series already established the Infinity Stones, but is also rumoured to be the last film to feature the final Infinity Stone. Well, either that or Black Panther. So are you open with the change that Hela could potentially be Thanos' new Mistress Death, or would you rather be the same as in the comics? Please comment below and share some thoughts. And if you've enjoyed this video, please give it a like, and if you enjoy my content, please give me a subscribe as well. And as always, thank you guys for watching this video, please take care, and of course, have a good one.